In today's video, we're going to learn how to make an animated subscribe button in Canva for your YouTube channel. It's quick and easy to do. I will teach you step by step how to do it. And by the end of this video, you'll have a beautiful animated subscribe button for your YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Hey, Saarenoja here. Welcome to my channel where I help new YouTubers grow on YouTube. Okay, hey guys, so this is what I'm going to teach you how to make. So something like this that you can import into your video and have a little bell sound or something on it that indicates, hey, subscribe to my channel. Just a quick animated subscribe button. So it's just a reminder in the middle of your content to encourage people to subscribe and like your videos. So we'll just go into canva.com to start. Then we're going to create a new document. So we can go to create a design. And we're going to do custom size, which is down here. So we click create design, custom size. And we want the size of HD because we're going to be covering up our HD video that we're creating for YouTube, which is 1920 by 1080. So you want to put in 1920 for the width and the height 1080. And then create new design. Now we have a blank page, which we can create an animated subscribe button. So you can think about your branding colors if you have any. To create the one that I have created, you can look at it again, but I have a gradient background. I have an animated circle. I have a picture of me, my name, subscribe, and bell icon. So we can walk through each of these steps and you can modify this however you want, but I think walking you through these steps will give you an idea of how to make your own in any way that you want to. And the reason I have this centered here is so that if I want to use this on a shorts video, it will be just the size of that shorts video, and this could also work for shorts. So that's why mine is kind of limited to this central zone, but you can, of course, put stuff all over this page, however you want to do it. I just happen to set it up this way so that I can use it on both formats very easily. First, let's choose a background. So we can go select the background that you have, and go up to background color. You can see a bunch of different colors. You know, these are some default colors, and then there's gradients down here. I used a gradient mine. In fact, I used this gradient. You can use whatever you want. So I'm going to make a new one for you guys. I'm going to choose something like maybe this, but you can choose a solid background too if you like, or, you know, gray, or you can also pick your own color by entering in the number for that, the hex code or the RGB color, or you can just kind of move this way and pick a color that you like. So you could just kind of go around and find something you like. And then from there, you can also, you know, you could add multiple colors. You don't have to just have one color. So if you wanted to create multiple colors, you could go to elements and you could find maybe a square, which would be, there's shapes that usually pop up right away. So here's a square. If you click on it, it'll just put it in your screen. There we go. And then you could make another random color this way. So we could just stretch this out by toggling over these and just dragging it to whatever size we want. So now we could have two colors if we wanted to do that, just to show you some ways to get some other colors in here. Okay, but I'm going to stick to the basics of this one to kind of show you how to make this. So the reason I like to use the gradient color is because it gives a little bit of differentiation over the screen. So maybe we pick a darker gradient, or maybe something like this. And you can modify the gradient as well by going into the color up here when it shows up, and you can choose the gradient color. So let's say I didn't want it to be so bright. I wanted it to kind of stay more dark, something like that. Then I could do it like that. Or maybe I decide that I want it to be very bright and this color is too dark. So then I can change this to be a little bit more bright too. So let's say I want the whole thing to be quite bright. And then you can also choose the style. So this is left to right kind of. This is more on the, you know, coming across diagonally. This is central. And you can just play around with which ones you like. And then to add in the other elements. So we have a circle with my face in it. To create pictures that are cropped, you want to go into elements and look for frames. So you can just type frame, or if it shows up here, you could go frame like this. And these are photo frames. I'm going to start with a circle. So I'm just going to click on it. You can click and hold and drag it in here as well. And you'll notice these red lines coming up. These are guidelines that are saying this is centered on vertical and horizontal. I'm going to move it up. Actually, I'd rather it be more off center because I'm going to put some text below. So then for these, how this works is you plop your image into it, and then your image takes up that whole space. So if we go to upload, you can upload an image of yourself. If I scroll down, I have uploaded images of myself. So here are images of myself. You can go upload file, find a file on your computer and then upload it. And then once it loads in, it'll show in here with all your uploads. So let's say I want to put this one in here. So when you drag it over that frame, it automatically crops it to that frame. And then once it's in that frame, if you don't like the spacing of it or something, you can double click on it, open it up, and you can then move this picture however you want it to be. Like if you want just your head, or if you want to show more of my shoulders or something. So that I could do that. I can also, if I have the Pro version, I can go to Edit Image, and I can actually remove the background. So let's say I don't want that background that's in there, and I just go to Background Remover. So now the background is gone. But let's say I don't want to see blue background. I want like a white background behind me. If we want to have some differentiation between my face and the background, then we can go back to Elements, and we could grab something like a circle shape. So we put the shape in there. We want to make it white, or whatever color you want to make it. Maybe you want to make it kind of like a pinkish color. You could do that too. So then I would just scale this up to be the similar size as the circle that I'm within. So it's probably something like this. I can drag it over top to see. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. Something like that. And then I can position this to be behind my face. So to position it, we go up here and we go to Position, the 3 dots. If you don't see Position, go to Position, and we can say backward or to back. So I'm going to say to back because the furthest back that you can't change is this actual background. So I'm going to go to back, and that will make sure it's behind everything. So now you can see that my face is in front of a pink circle, and then we can continue to edit it. I want to maybe add an animated ring around this, so we can go to Elements, Circle, let's say maybe Circle Outline, Animated. So here's some animated things. So here's some spinning ones. Here's some like mystical ones. This is nice, but I think it might just get washed out. It's so light. We could try it. Let's see if we click it in there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. We could shrink it down to the right size by just dragging on these corners. And then we can move it to be centered around. So that's kind of fun, but I do think it would need a little bit more excitement than that. So we could stick a regular frame around it. Yeah, we could do like a regular frame first, and then that could go on top. So if we do the regular frame, let's see, if we center it on that circle, we scale it up. Then we can move it backwards so that it's behind that sparkle, so backwards. Now the sparkle's in front, and then I would change this to be a different color, or it could be gray. So you can kind of play with what colors you like. You could also scale up that glitter, you know, have it a little outside so it shows up a little bit more around it like that. So that could work. It just depends on what you want. If you want something subtle or something a little more intense. So we can leave that for now. And then under that, I would like to have maybe subscribe button and a bell icon. So we can go to Elements again for that, and we can type in subscribe. Enter, and then you can see options: graphics, photos, videos, and shapes. So I'm going to go with graphics, and you can see there's animated ones. I think this is the one I actually use. There's this one, you know, it depends on what you like. You can kind of scroll through, and with the crown, it means it's Pro, so it means you would have to pay to use that, or it's going to have a watermark on it. So I'm going to take this one, and it comes in quite big, and we can then scale it down. So we drag on it to scale it down, grab an edge. And I think I'm going to put this down here. And let's see, I think I want the colors to be different because I want them to match my theme. So maybe pink and white. Maybe a darker purpley color so it stands out a little bit more. So that could work. So we have the subscribe button done. Now I want to add a bell icon. So we do the same thing. We make sure we're in Elements. And then we go up here and we type in bell icon. So bell icon and hit enter. And to just limit it to graphics, we can go graphics. You could use a photo of a bell if you wanted to, of course. I'm going to go for something that's animated. I think this is the one I use, and it is a free one. Okay, it doesn't look like we can change the color of this bell. If you click on it and it shows the color tab, you can change it. So let's maybe go to something that we could change the color of. This one, you can probably change the color. Yes, because now this color palette is showing up. So we can shrink this down, and we can drag it over here. And we can change the color. So I'm going to change it to something that stands out against this blue background, which might be more of like a golden color. So now we have our bell, we have our subscribe button, and we have our animated thing going around our face. We could actually group these so that we can center them under that photo. So if we do select the first one and select the second one, then we can group them. Now they are considered one piece. So when they move together. So I can center it under here. And I would like to include my name. So I'm going to select this group and I'm going to slide it down a little bit. I can also select all of these by dragging a square over it. And I can then group these so that when I move them, they move together. If I scale them up, they move together. So I can scale up these now if I wanted to, or scale them down. And then I can add in some text to add in my name. So here we go down to the text tab. This is where you add in text. So I'm going to add, you can add a heading, subheading, or a little bit of body of text. We can scroll down here and see different options for text. So let's say you see this one and you really like it. So let's just go ahead and click on it. It will bring it into here and we can just change the name. And if you like this, this version, you could use that as well, like how it's Princeton Company. I don't like that, so I'm just going to hit backspace and delete that part. And then I'm just going to do Saarenoja. Then you can drag it out so it's all on one line. And then move me. We think this is fine. We want to center it. So we find the center point by dragging it around until we find the cursor. There it is. Then we change the color because the color is not working for me. So we can do purple if we want. I think that works fine. I do think this blue background is the problem though. So let's change the blue background to something else. Let's go wild and be black. Yes, that's nice. Okay. So Alexa Saarenoja, I could probably change this actually. So if you want to change the color, you can just go up to text color and I'm going to change it to white. There's white. Alexa Saarenoja, that's nice and white and bright. And then you could scale it down if you wanted, dragging the cursor, or you can go up here and go down or up to decide what size you want it to be. And this doesn't need to be centered here, but you can center it underneath. So then you have that. And actually now that it's black, maybe I want this to be gold. So I can go up to color and I could change it to maybe this gold color. And there you have it, an animated page. You can also play with effects on font. So if you go up here to where it says effects for font, you can do effects and you can see different types of things for effects. So you could have a shadow, you could have a lift, you could have hollow, you could have splice, you could have outline, have echo. You can go through these, check them out. You could also curve your text if you wanted to, if you wanted it to curve around your image up here. So I could go the negative way and it would curve up around my name. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that. But if you don't like something, you just completely select it, go into effects and go back to none. For the curve, you actually need to say none on the curve too. Okay, so that's how you can play with effects of the text. I think it's done. And to animate the whole thing, you could select on the background. So this is 9.9 seconds. If we go play, we can see what it looks like. So nothing is really animating in so much. It's just that spinning thing. So if I want to animate the whole page, I can go select the background, then do animate. And I can say it all comes up like this. It could come up like this, or party. Party's kind of nice. Pan. So you could really play with a lot. That one's quite nice. So I think I'll go with that one. And then you can edit how long it is. So I usually do about 3 or 4 seconds. I think mine is 4 seconds long, but we can do, let's say 3 seconds. And this means when you export the file, it will be a 3-second file, a video file. So that is now our, animated bell icon thing. So we could just hit, we could play it to see if we like it. Yep, I like it. Everything's spelled right. Looks nice. Then we can hit close and we can now export this. So first thing you want to do before you export this is you want to name this. So let's say this is Alexa's animated subscribe. So I just have it know the file name. That is now your file name. Then you go to share to export this or to download it, and we go to download. Then we choose MP4 video because we do want an MP4 video. We want it animated so we can put it into our video. So we do select that and then we hit download. And then it downloads it. So you can see it's downloading. And then we could bring it into whatever editing software we're using and go ahead and put it into our YouTube video. So let's say this is my video that I have. I'm just going to put it down here. Then I'm just going to quickly make a break in this. So let's say that we decide this is a good break in our video and we want to put that subscribe button in here. So we simply go to your downloads and you find where it is, and then you drag that in to your iMovie, DaVinci, whatever you're using. And then from here, you just drag it simply down into your timeline. There it is. And then if you want to add a bell sound to it, we go to, I just grab bell sounds from Pixabay. So I go to Pixabay to get my sounds. So once I'm in Pixabay, then I go up here to this drop down for the search top bar and I look for sound effects. So I'm going to go to sound effects and then I'm going to type bell. And then we can just play through which bell sound we want. So this is a good one. I think this is the one I use. I just hit download. And it says if you want to donate, you can. And then it downloads the bell. So then I can go back into iMovie, can get the bell sound file, drag it into my editing software, then drag that down to be with this, on top of this animated space. I just need to adjust the volume a bit. And then everything is good. So now we see this animated thing with bell sound and go back to the video. So that's how you can create an animated subscribe button in your videos. Hopefully this helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you are interested in a checklist, I do have a checklist for new YouTubers to follow step by step what to do to get started on YouTube and how to grow a channel. So if you want access to that, definitely look in the description below. Thanks you guys. See you in the next video.